Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. I we discovered that we have a severe mold issue in the basement, and I'm waiting for the mold guy. He's supposed to be here at 10:15. I did new mama office hours early to adjust my schedule, and the freaking guy still isn't here. So I'm agitated, but he might show up at any point, and then I'll have to hop off because we have to address this immediately. It's a huge concern. Um, and then I'll come back later and get to everybody, but there's only 16 questions, so I'll just do my best right now. And yeah, and so anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about um the mold thing. So as you guys know, I've been dealing with this crazy like sinusy stuff. I can't figure it out. I used Indoor Doctor, which is a kit you order, and then they send you like this device, and it's air sampling throughout the house, like $300. But what's cool is they're not affiliated with any company, so they don't have to like get involved in homeowners or remediation. Like there's a lot of, I think, scandaling that goes on with insurance. I'm sorry, I'm only sitting here because what if he shows up? My husband doesn't like when I work out of my office. This is his floor. Right.
I'll hit the Ring doorbell. It'll hit my phone.
Okay. So anyway, the super point. I'm gonna make more tea and I'll take you guys upstairs. I air sampled, I don't know, 7 locations in the house, and we think it's coming from a spot in the basement because water got through. Anyway, the report came back. Good news that only one spot in the house had mold, but it's a severe aspergillus and something else. Not black mold, thank God, but so the basement is now off limits. And I had like my worst night ever last night. And my husband's like, is it power of the mind? I'm like, maybe now I know. But anyway, so the mold guy shows up. I'm gonna hang up on you guys and I'm gonna come back later. I promise. It's just I want to get this started ASAP. Is the dog pooping on the deck? No. Oh, okay. So okay. I'm reading your question. So let me just pour my tea and then I'm going to take you guys upstairs. Heather also just sent me, I thought this is interesting. So one of our girls told Heather, her clinic, which I think is RMA New Jersey, was insisting, they have this handout. Let me just see. About how much methylfolate a patient should be taking. And so, yeah, RMA. So it says prenatal vitamin must contain at least 800 micrograms of folic acid or folate. Vitamin D, antioxidants CoQ10, 300 milligrams twice a day. Acai, 1,000 milligrams. NAD, 300 once daily. Melatonin, 3 milligrams. I mean, all so high doses, but methylfolate, 15 milligrams twice daily. 1.5. Heather says, I told the patient, there's no way that's correct. They would never put somebody on 30 milligrams. The patient then shows Heather this handout. It clearly says, and I'm like, and then 4 grams daily of myo-inositol. I'm like, they have a typo on their handout. I think they probably mean 1.5, but even that plus the 800 in the prenatal, I mean, you're at like 4,000 of methylfolate. That's so, I mean, talk about hypermethylation. You're going to be like on crack. And then the melatonin, you're probably not going to feel like you're on crack because the melatonin is making you feel drugged because 3 milligrams. It's just like, I just want to say, stay in your lane. I guess they would say the same thing to me though, if I have opinions about IVF. So maybe I don't stay in my lane, but, or at least maybe double check your work. I don't know. I have lots of thoughts about this. But could you imagine? You can't even find a supplement. 15 milligrams. Sorry, I'm walking up the stairs with my hot tea and my laptop and the dog. Yeah. Anyway, it's ridiculous. And then the patient's going to bring it up to them, and then they're going to say that that's not an error. which is going to blow my mind because it is an error. Okay. I don't need to close that. Put you guys here. Okay. So Nicole, I see your question. I'm going to get to it once I open this baby. Okay. Just open this up. So Nicole, so last week we discussed my light periods. I booked some sessions with a pelvic floor physio. I think that's really smart. I'm gonna turn on my heater. It's cold up here. I found traditional medicine doctor. I met with her November 26th in person, but had a 15-minute consult with her from her website. It seems she works with patients from my clinic. She suggested working with her for 3 months to an acupuncture room. The only thing is my plan was to do transfer sort of January, end of say. Expressed being nervous about time pass. I know my embryo is already made, but I do worry about the light period because I absolutely can't do any more medicated cycles. I prefer natural. Do you think it's a good direction to go in? I do. I mean, even if you do too, I mean, what I would say to you is like, if I would honor that sense of urgency and the time frame and be like, listen, 6 weeks or even 8 weeks of working together is better than none, right? So maybe you guys can meet in the middle and do 2 months of work before a transfer. That's what I would say. I got some sulforaphane to supplement my broccoli intake because it's hard to find broccoli sprouts. I know. Is it not good to take if you already have low estrogen or just take a low amount? It shouldn't impact estrogen the same. Oh, well, sorry, the sulforaphane. In my head, I'm thinking broccoli sprouts. I don't think it's that concerning. The DIM is the more concerning one because that's the indole 3-carbinol and it just acts a little differently. But I don't think it's as concerning. But I would just maybe take less of an amount. And then if you are monitoring your hormones, then you can probably kind of watch and see if estrogen drops anymore. I don't typically see estrogen drop from sulforaphanes. I see the pathways get like more efficient, and so, but not necessarily estrogen deficiency. Here is my cycle. I took letrozole 5 days to see how my body would respond in case I decided to do a modified natural. Seems my doctor was right when she said letrozole could cause thinner lining. Usually last few cycles, I had 8 thoughts on this and estrogen. Is the lining in this the 0.69, 0.61? So that's like almost 7 millimeters. Is that what I'm assuming? Right, that's what I'm assuming. And then it's trilaminar. I think it's fine. And the letrozole is smart. I'm seeing a lot more and more with any suspicion of endometriosis. They're using letrozole with transfers. Thoughts on using low dose stims to grow follicles and grow a thicker lining for transfer? I mean, maybe. I would just say maybe. It's like every patient's going to be different, but that's such a low amount that should only have a positive impact. Are you thinking of retrieving as well, or just doing that for lining? But maybe, I'm just doing. Gonorrhea can thicken the uterine lining because it produces more estrogen. So sure, and that's such a low dose. I think it would be okay. I mean, yeah. My DHEA was blood tested at 277 last week, August, before adding the supplement. It was at 82. Yeah, I would go to 10 milligrams every other day now. Any harm in doing laser treatments for the face? I don't think so. And actually, because I enjoy some lasers, so I have done a lot of research on it. I mean, it's not something I would do in the luteal phase if I was trying to conceive, but it's definitely safe to do while trying to conceive. You just have to, I would do it in the follicular phase and maybe earlier in the follicular phase. But if anything, it's actually causing cellular regeneration, right? I've done it. I have one in December. This will probably be my third one. I'm doing them like yearly. And I do. I mean, I feel like I see such an impact on my skin. I'm probably gonna do my arms too because I have like sunspots now. Because as I recommend to many of you, I don't use a lot of sunscreen. I mean, I'll wear a hat and stuff like that. Anyway, yes is the answer. Yes is the answer. Anybody know whose song that is from? And where it comes from? What are your thoughts on getting a COVID shot after having COVID at the end of September? Not had COVID shot for several years, as I was down with zero energy. Yeah. End of September was the first time I had COVID with the fatigue, earring, cough that came with it. I wouldn't do it. I personally wouldn't touch those shots with a 10-foot pole ever again. But and I'm not an anti-vaxxer, and I didn't vote for you know who, but I full on believe there's a fucking conspiracy there. And I don't mean to be political. I don't care who you voted for. My husband and I did not vote the same. And I love him dearly, and I think he's a brilliant man. And he has different opinions than I do. And that's fine. I respect him. But yeah, I'm not into the shots at all. And especially, like even just intellectually, if we're just staying on intellectual, you have the antibodies from September and they last in your body 6 to 9 to 12 months. Do not get a COVID shot if you're planning to be pregnant soon. Do not get a COVID shot while you're pregnant. I don't get flu shots. That's correct. And this came up in the new mama group too. It's funny, I guess, because it's like this 'tis the season. Even like my best friend, she's a PhD nurse. She teaches at the medical school in Texas, and her husband's a doctor. And obviously, I sound like this when we go on our trip to Florida. And she's like brainstorming it with me. This is before I know it, the mold, but I'm like convinced at this point we have mold. I just am waiting for the test results. And so she's like, now I know you don't like medicines, but here's a thought. She's so funny. Like, I don't not like medicine. I just like, I want to understand what I'm trying to treat and why. And then also like when it comes to the flu shots or the COVID vaccines, like I need evidence, guys. I need evidence. There's not a lot of evidence. There's a lot of talk. There's not a lot of evidence. Show me the longitudinal data, and then I will have an opinion. And with the flu shot, I have a very clear evidence-based opinion. It doesn't do anything to our population. Zero. And to the little ones too. Zero. My son's never gotten one. Okay, my stomach and right below my belly button have very bloated since COVID. Interesting. I have not changed my diet. I'm exercising less and my TSH level went up. Yeah, because there's such an impact on the immune system. However, it feels like my TSH is coming back down and feeling more in range, but the bloating is continuing. My bowels are fine. I have been adding a capsule of Pepsin with my lunch and dinner, and I already take the Sarah Gold. Any suggestions on how to get rid of the bloating? My MP thought I should consider a round of antibiotics. I mean, I think that's a little aggressive too. Like maybe do an H. pylori test or a stool analysis. That would be the most clear-cut way to do it, or a SIBO test. Just to do a round of antibiotics sounds aggressive and unfounded. I would do like a week in phase 2 and then start reintroducing and see how you feel. That's how I would handle it. I would just go super clean for at least like 5 days, lots of bone broth, just like simple, really pay attention. If bone broth still makes you bloated, then it's a histamine thing, which would make sense from a COVID thing. You could also try adding, instead of doing phase 2, you could also just try adding, it's called Histamine Digest by Seeking Health. I'm actually currently on it myself for all this that I got going on. I definitely think it works like probably the way a Zyrtec would work for some. For me, I would try maybe going low histamine. That might be another thought. and try the histamine digest. The enzymatic Ceregold does not impact digestion. They're different kinds of enzymes. They're proteolytic enzymes, so they really work for like masses and accumulations and like cysts and endo and things like that, cancer. Like that's what those are used for. They're not digestive enzymes. I think the pepsin is a good idea. However, if it's H. pylori, the pepsin can worsen it. So I would probably go to like pancreatic enzymes, not pepsin, which is I think the betaine HCl. And this is just stuff I learned from sitting on those calls for the GI map. You have to be really careful with your betaine HCl. You have to know for certain you do not have H. pylori. So pancreatic enzymes, apple cider vinegar, but that is histamine. I would probably try going, I'd either do phase 2, and if I didn't get any better, then I'd be absolutely certain it's histamines. I would drop all fermented foods from my diet. Leftovers can't be more than like 24 hours in the fridge, either bone broth or proteins. And I would like, and it's all in the Egg Quality Diet in the back of the book, the histamine piece. That's where I would probably focus and see. My DHEA level was low. Yeah, that's low, my love. Okay. I would supplement. I would probably, in this case, that's pretty low. I would probably do 10 to 25 milligrams every day for a solid month, and then I'd retest. I ended up getting a positive surge on 42. My follicle was only 15. It grew to 16, sudden ovulated by the time the IUI. I decided against the intrauterine PRP because this cycle had taken so long. So I'm in my 2-week wait. It's hard to avoid soy and gluten, sick day quality diet, even here on vacation, but I'm trying. Well, good job. I mean, I just keep doing all the things. You know what to do. Look at the 2-week wait checklist too. That's what I would say. That's what it's there for. I'm going to share it with you. It's raining so hard here, which is so good because we need rain. Here's the 2-week wait checklist. I'm gonna share it with you. And you have to remember DHEA, which is the precursor to testosterone, or one of the precursors to testosterone, has a strong impact on the maturation of the follicle. So DHEA being low probably means testosterone's low. I would take the DHEA and you should see a difference in the next cycle. You could definitely still get pregnant this cycle. I'm not saying you're not, but definitely add in the DHEA. I wouldn't add it in right now in the 2-week wait. I would add it in though if you get a period. I've been getting hot flashes and headaches after the recent egg retrieval. I mean, that makes sense. It's a drop in estrogen. It is pretty common. Yeah, I would do all the estrogen boosting tips that I have. I'm just making a handout for it. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast. It's things I say all the time: rest, nourishment, herbs. Carrie, don't we have you on herbs? Let me just pull this up first and then I'll go to your herbs. Sorry, I have a lot in this Canva folder, so I just have to go through it. 246 to 256. 246 to 256. 246 to 256. Come on, why can't I write it in there? Okay. 246, sorry. I'm just going to make this into a PDF, then you all can have it. So I'm creating an IVF masterclass, which you guys will get access to once created. But I also thought to like get your advice on it with my outline because, okay. Let me see. Have a look at that, Carrie, and then let me also just double check your herbs. This guy's still not here. I texted an hour and 15 minutes ago. I'm like, now do I even want this company? They came highly recommended, but I'm fucking annoyed. It's like, who does that? So, all right. Yeah, the herbs that you have at home, Carrie, if you still have them, the Tao Hong Suwu Tong could be helpful. I can also order another formula for you, and I'm just going to do it. You can message me if you have questions or don't want to fill it. But it's Ershan Tong, which is one of my favorites for this drop in estrogen, hot flashy kind of feeling. I'll do it in tablets. And I think take like 3 twice a day. I'll forward you the email from Crane as well when I do this. Okay. Okay. Is US Wellness Brand the one you still recommend for meat and chicken? Yeah. I do. And we also use Moink. We use Butcher Box. Any of them I think are great. Do you feel LifeWave X39 patches can be helpful? I have never even heard of them, but let me look at them. Okay, let me see their products. Oh, those are cool looking. They're expensive. That's expensive. What's in a patch though? I want to see the ingredients in the patch. I don't like when they don't share the ingredients, I gotta be honest. They're cool looking. They're very expensive. If you can find me ingredients, I do not see ingredients anywhere. Your body emits heat, including heat in the infrared spectrum. Our patches are designed to trap this infrared energy when placed in the body, which causes them to reflect it back to specific points on the skin. I mean, so I'm going to go with maybe. I also would say a Mylar blanket could do the same thing for a lot cheaper. No drugs or chemicals enter your body, but I still want to know what's in the patch because obviously we know our skin is our largest organ and anything we put on it does get into our bloodstream. So, oh my God, Rex, seriously, calm down. You're moving my carpet, which is moving my desk, buddy. So I'm like on that because I don't like, full disclosure, it's like any supplement line that does not have ingredients like very clearly easily found on a website, I poo-poo, I throw out, because it's not that hard to have everything listed on the site. Makes me feel like they're trying to hide something. Cycle 11, I had a 7 millimeter lining and a 10 millimeter follicle and a 3 millimeter follicle. My estrogen was 31. Progesterone, L8. Okay, took letrozole 2 to 6. Happy for the thick lining. Just confused how it could be so well developed. My follicles aren't. It could be the cyst. The cyst might be impacting the development. Or it's some kind of, like absorption issue on your end, like from a GI perspective, that we're just not utilizing the hormones efficiently. I would venture to say it's the cyst causing more of the issue. I would just wait it out. You just might, your lining is great, and it might just get to it like a 9, and you just might need more time. Like if you were in a natural cycle and you had a cyst, you would have a delayed ovulation. They just tend to delay the maturation, even if they're functional cysts and not secreting any estrogen. They just can delay the maturation of the other follicles. They kind of like take the energy away. What? You're okay. You're okay. My clinic is just waiting to see. My acupuncturist says my yin is low and I need to sleep more. I'd agree with her. So like yin, this what I just posted in Carrie's thing. Read all that stuff about, it's called Loud Post 2. I should change the name, but that's my estrogen recommendations. That's what I would do. Any update on my cycle? I've started, an update. I thought you were asking me if there's any updates on your cycle. I'm like, I don't know. Is there? I've started a second sim cycle, currently on 150 Menopure, 150 Follistim, Omnipure. I feel pretty good, just tired, doing outside monitoring, fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, I think all the things, keep doing all the things. Read what I just posted, the estrogen post that I just posted under Carrie's question. I think that would be good. Rest is so important. Sleeping, nourishing, not skipping meals, healthy blood flow, right? Especially if we're only expecting, 4-ish follicles to mature. Do your castor oil packs, do your gua sha, acupuncture, stay warm and cozy, sit on these mats if you have one. I love this thing. All those things, okay? And then, oh, you're welcome. Okay. I think that's all the questions for this week. It's kind of a light week here. Yeah, I'm gonna go because I have lots I can do and need to do. And then I have a group call with the September cohort today in the FFP, which I'm excited about. And I need to prep for that too. So I will go and do my thing, and I should probably shower because, oh, good. Postdoc, Amelia, Erica, and, all right. Okay, guys. I'll see you later.